Hey Priya. Hey Andre.
Hello. How are
Hello,
you
everyone.
doing?
Oh, not bad. How's everyone?
Good.
Good. How are you? So
Nice.
where
It's
are you
good.
calling from,
Just
Andre?
going from Kelowna, just enjoying a bit of what I'm perceiving to be the spring sun. So
Yeah, it is
yeah,
pretty sunny day. It is a
yes,
sunny day today.
yeah. How about you?
Good. Good. Yeah, I
Nice.
mean, this is our first educational series, so we are excited all about it.
Awesome. Yeah. So am I. It's a very interesting topic. I was looking into it up a bit, but really interested to hear what will be discussed today.
Sure. Let's wait for few folks. I see Harshit possibly has also joined.
Hmm.
And a few more folks have accepted it. Let's wait for a minute or so.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, maybe. So, Andre, what exactly you do here in Kelowna? Is that some food business that you run?
No, I'm a software developer, and I've had like an interest in cybersecurity for some time. So I do some freelancing for the small local companies here. So I thought I would just sit in on this meeting, hear the importance of
Interesting.
so yeah, cybersecurity, and see what in my line of work what I can do in terms of the services that I offer.
Perfect.
Excellent.
The airy silence while we wait.
We should play some music.
Yeah, we should have queued that up.
Correct.
Some cafe lounge music. I shouldn't say it too loud, otherwise my Google will start playing it right now. uh, um,
Sure.
yeah. So maybe we can start off respecting
That's it.
the fact
Yeah.
that there are people here on time. What do you
Yes.
think, Mangesh?
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah. Let's get started.
Okay, so I'm going to start since I am talking. I'm going to keep talking for a bit longer. My name is Priya Sachdev. I, amongst all the other things I do, work with Cybird as a fractional chief sales officer, and I'm excited to welcome everybody to our first in the series webinar today. Right, and today we are focusing and talking more about cybersecurity, specifically thinking about cafes, restaurants, and really eateries as a segment. And I'm excited to welcome Mangesh, who's the founder of Cybird. So over to you, Mangesh, if you would just introduce yourself.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Priya. Yeah, I'm Mangesh. I'm founder of Cybird. Okay, I bring almost 20 years of cybersecurity experience to the table, and looking at understanding consumer space, understanding the small business space. Yeah, I mean, I see a big gap in terms of providing a comprehensive protection at a simplicity and a affordable costing, actually. And that's what we have been building Cyberd since last 2 years. And this is kind of an educational series that we want to start. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Mangesh. So, we're talking about cybersecurity, and I'm sure people who are listening to this will also be curious enough, like I am, to say, Should we even worry about that? Like if I'm a cafe or a restaurant in one small city, in one neighborhood, do I have to worry about cybersecurity really?
Yeah, great question. And yeah, I mean, everything, yeah, I mean, we are doing this meeting online, we shop online, we trade online, and everything is online. So let me share some stats actually, uh, just to give some numbers. Again, cybersecurity does matter to everyone, all of us here, for cafes, with all other small businesses as well. With some numbers that we saw with Cybird and my previous experience, almost 60 to 80% of all of us, including the small businesses, have been affected by some kind of a cybersecurity attack. Last year, these are latest numbers, and with AI, this continue to grow more faster actually, because it is much easy for personalizing people, attacking them, understanding that yes, he's Andre from Kelowna, and yes, possibly much easy to target with a personalized information. And now, and the impact of that is always to the business in terms of like critical customer data can be in the hands of wrong people. That can be misused, or it can be straightforward business impact, because your reputation is at stake. People don't may not trust you, because if they are sharing some data with you, they may not trust you. And lastly, I mean, in some cases, we have clearly observed that there has been a downtime of almost 1 or 2 weeks, because their machine were kind of locked up. So yeah, all again some top level impacts, but yeah, very critical. And it doesn't matter whether you are in small towns, city. People, cyber attacks could happen. You are accessible, reachable. As long as you are online, you are reachable, and people can easily try to catch you. And I mean, they want more and more people to be botnet infected, virus infected, so that they could catch them in some way.
Ah, okay. Well, that's scary to a bit, right? And the more we get dependent on technology, I guess this is some stuff that we just have to get better at. So, having a public Wi-Fi, like I've always been concerned when I go sit in a cafe and I'm using public Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Is that increasing risk for cafes at
It
all?
does, it does. Yeah, it does on both sides, to the
Mhm.
consumer as well as the cafe. I mean, we are focusing on cafe. So again, there are a lot of strangers, guests coming. You don't know who these people are. And they can bring very simple gadgets, like just even mobile, and run a scan to know what all other devices are there on the network. And with simple tools, like even just a laptop, they don't need any fancy tools. They can run all sorts of vulnerability checks, what devices are connected, and possibly if they are open, easy, vulnerable, they can plant a virus, plant a malware on those connected devices. And point of sale, which is like very critical device where all the sales operation happens, you're taking orders, billing people, and that is like very more sensitive, where credit card information is getting captured. And if it is like not protected very well, or the updates are not run, I mean, it is very easy for them to kind of get hands to it. Again, they are sitting sipping a coffee, but you don't know what's going behind the scene. So all yes, and to other people who are sitting at the cafe, that is also a risk, because this bad guy possibly could intercept what the other people are doing online. And if they are doing some kind of a, online transactions, even those can be kind of sniffed in some way, and people can be redirected to malicious site instead of going to good site. So all that can be done behind the scene, quietly sipping the coffee.
Wow. Okay, and I am going to now look at everybody with a tad bit of suspicion when I sit in a cafe next time. Um, so, can we've heard about these big attacks on large firms, but just
Correct.
trying to bring this home. Um, in this space of cafes, restaurants, food chains, are there examples that we can look
Correct.
at which we may have seen create impact, just so that we know what we are talking about?
Correct. Yeah, I mean, what I have observed again, working at previous company as McAfee, I mean, a lot of people to get clicks or links, download something. A lot of people don't get reported in the news, but there are like 3, 4 flashy news that I came across last year. Read some of my notes like Krispy Kreme again, December 2024. Again, their point of sale service were impacted, so they were not able to bill people. And again, so that was like critical. People were lining up, ordering, and these multiple counters were kind of completely locked, and that was a cybersecurity attack. So that
Wow.
was one case. Or even like this Yum brand, which is like a KFC or Taco Bell, all under this particular umbrella. They're like the ransomware was hit on them. So again, if it is a ransomware attack, all your machines are getting locked up. You
Mm.
see a screen which is like a red with a counter ticking to pay you some kind of ransom. And yes, everything kind of a business stops there. And we also saw that in London drugs. That
Yeah,
was
I
here
remember
in
that.
Canada. Yeah, a couple of weeks were down again. Even though they are pretty big, again, this can be easily attacked. There are new vulnerabilities every day that are announced publicly, and if you're not patching up, you're not taking care of them, you don't have a sound firewall. That you could be the next example. That's where, like, yeah, we should be really cautious, like what you do online.
Yeah. And so cafes, restaurants have people working in shifts. So there are a lot
Correct.
of employees coming in and out that
Correct.
may be managing your POS or also being on the Wi-Fi for that. So
Correct.
do hackers try and get in through that route as well? Or how does that work?
Yeah, yeah. Hackers will try all different paths. Again, the weakest link I have seen is are the people, where somebody looking very innocent. Yeah, let me reach out to them, talk more softly, and possibly get my message across, get them download or click a link or download something. Yeah, it is very possible you're in front of them, and they can say that yes, possibly just connect this USB. I want to charge my phone. So there can be multiple ways that the softer link or weak link, we call it as, people could be like easily targeted. And once they get hand on to this, again, they may connect your devices or download some viruses or click a link, and the employees will be free to say that, yes, I want to support this customer. Let me do a favor for them. And then that could be a tricky situation to land up.
Hmm.
Yeah. Phishing, yeah, phishing, the percentage wise, almost 80% of data theft or kind of attacks start with phishing as one important link in it. So you might get a SMS, you might get a link or an email, something that might land up into a situation where, yeah, you are exposing your credentials or downloading something which is malicious.
Okay. And so
Yeah,
you obviously use these words very naturally, like phishing or ransomware. But
yeah,
can you unpack these for
sure.
people like me to understand? Let's talk about ransomware. For a
Correct. Yeah.
small business, what does ransomware mean, and how do I protect myself?
Yeah, yeah. Great question. Phishing, ransomware, top two attack vectors, I would say, in consumer or even in the large enterprises. So again, I will touch the phishing part first because it is more prominent and more common. You might get an email saying it is an Amazon gift coupon or gift voucher you got. People are excited. Okay, but my friend possibly have sent me something. Let me click download or get a Amazon login. Yeah, unless, you don't really, because of the excitement, you don't really focus. Is it really email coming from Amazon? Is it really that the domain name is correct? Does it look fishy or something like that? Or is there some kind of a timeline attached to that? A sense of urgency is attached. So that way, people may not bother looking at those things. And if it is good to be true, too good to be true, yeah, actually, you should be having some kind of a sense of suspicion. Yeah, it may not be the right case. Why should be somebody offer me $500 gift coupon card, or even might be $50? Yeah, people possibly click and then say, okay, let me go and cash it, kind of. So that is phishing, because people trust these bigger brands, Amazon or Google or something. They might go ahead and click it, yes. They might not see some suspicious point. And that is one example. Again, the ransomware also lands up in the same way, possibly phishing. So instead of giving a Amazon coupon card, asking them to click a link and go to Amazon site, or a fish site which is looking like Amazon, people might download something, and it might be just a like simple exe, which if you double click, it may not run, but it might not harm you then and there. And the real impact would have possibly already happened behind the scene, that it would have planted the virus, it would have downloaded the virus or ransomware, and started to count the days actually for you. Like, yes, in next 10 days or 15 days, when I get a chance to spread across the network, a comfortable time, possibly they will check if it is a weekday or something like that, and it can trigger all the screens to kind of go blank or go red with a message like, yes, we are all your machines are locked up. You need to pay some X amount of cryptocurrency to this account, and otherwise all your machines will kind of go off, your or your customers' data is lost. So there can be various threats, but it is all mapped to some kind of a financial or monetary benefit directly linking.
Mm.
And yes, people again, people don't want to stop their business. They don't want to lose their customer data, and yes, they don't want to be in the news, so they want to be like quickly going out, let's see what we can do. Again, the scale can be huge based on the company sizes, but the whole premise is that they want to lock your systems, lock your data, and scare you like, yeah, we will either disclose this customer information online, sell it, and all kind of personal confidential information can be lost actually.
Wow. So what can we do to protect that? Like, is there something that as a
Yeah,
small business owner I can do to
yeah.
ensure that we are protected?
Correct. Yes. Let me share again my screen quickly. Some best practices. Again, nothing totally rocket science to do for the small businesses. Very simple steps actually. One is, I mean, secure your Wi-Fi in a way that there is a good firewall in place. It should block all the phishing sites and all few things. Separate out your guest network so that the main network where
Mm.
your business is connected can be separate. Yes, endpoint protection where it is like installing the antivirus software so that even if there is some files downloaded behind the scene, you should be able to quickly detect and clean it up. Again, very simple thing. Strong passwords and multi-factor authentications. Again, all your machines should be with a stronger password. Yeah, I know passwords might be complex, and it might seems like unintuitive to or time consuming, but it will save you in the long run. I mean, if it is a you want to maintain complex passwords, I would say recommend password managers as a good way. uh, Again, you can maintain unique password, complex passwords, and surely multi-factor authentication, so you get a OTP or a email link confirmation that enter this number before you after you enter the password. So surely multi-factor authentication is the long way to go. And lastly, surely all employees are not at the same level of cybersecurity understanding.
Mm.
Simple. Again, there are online tutorials, YouTube is there, or even we are giving out our free book, ebook, which I wrote last year,
Mm.
talking about passwords, networks, and permissions and everything. It is a very simple story format book. People can download and give it to their employees also. So that way, yeah, at least these four things I would say are the pillars. There are more deeper things. If you're small business is too large enough or medium size enough, then yes, there are much more better things that need to be done. Yeah,
Yeah.
but these are at least the core 4 or 5 principles that anybody should follow.
Perfect. Thanks for that. And
Yeah,
I am going to follow that up with I hate changing passwords. Like every time it prompts me to say, your
yeah,
password is going to expire, you need to do a new password. I hate that notification. So I'm thinking when you're saying this, that how frequently should I do this? Like as a business owner, do you have a recommendation like change it every 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years? I
yeah.
don't.
Yeah, I mean the whole premise why do we need to change the password is like if your machine is compromised in some way or your account is compromised or your username and password are kind of leaked out, and I mean if you see dark web, a lot of these username and passwords are sold for some cash. So there could be millions of leaked username and passwords. Now your could be in one of them, and you don't want that to be happening, that if you use the same password again for almost all the accounts, that is another problem with the passwords. So again, for a small business, yes, complex password changing, the best case is like at least change it every 90 days, 3 months.
Okay.
And then addition to that, we always recommend use some password manager. There are real good password managers. Some are open source, free as well. And if it is a small business, yes, there are real good packages of password managers. Yeah, changing the password does every 90 days does take time, but you are ensured that even if your passwords are getting leaked out, sold online or dark web, yeah, you have possibly recovered from it by changing the passwords. Yeah. So yeah, 60 days is really good. 90 days is really good, but at least within a 6 months of time, you should be asking employees to change the password. And yeah, if you're using say Google Workspace or Microsoft, they do allow that. Yes, say the policy to change it often.
Yeah. Yeah. And I always ignore that one. So note to self, remember.
Yeah, if
Uh,
people ignore it or whatever is the password, just add 123 to the end of it so that you still remember this password.
ouch.
Totally, totally bad idea. Totally bad idea. Yes, password managers again. You can generate it on the fly. They are unique and they are again. If you again, there is one blog article I also wrote about how strong your password could be. So, I mean, with the modern technology, your passwords could be cracked in few minutes. If it is complex, it might take few months. It is slightly complex, it could take years. But the password managers, what they generate is like 13, 15 characters, pretty with alphanumeric characters, and all that things really help and complicate to take it to millions of years. If not, yeah. So that way, yes, don't change the password by adding just one or two at the end. That's not going to solve the problem at all. You might feel, yes, I changed it, fooled Google, but you are actually fooling yourself.
Yeah. Ooh, that hurts, Mangesh.
It, it is.
Okay.
It is.
Um, so what if there is an attack? Like, or if you are suspicious that there is an attack or a leak or something, is there something you could do? Like, who do you call? Who do you
Yeah,
reach to when
yeah. I
that?
mean, if you have a friend who is in IT, that is, and yeah, if not, I mean, there are 4, 5 simple again rules, basic rules. First, kind of disconnect the internet so that all devices are not talking to the bad guys in some way or connecting to we call it as a CNC, command and control. So you're not talking, letting your devices talk to the controlling center. So that is one, disconnect all the devices. Second is to run some kind of antivirus scan on major devices, so that if there is some kind of infection happened, some devices are already having some ransomware or viruses, you ensure that it is cleaned, update the antivirus and then run it so that it is protecting you against the latest. Uh, that is the second one. And of course, changing the passwords is important because somebody has possibly came in, they possibly know some of the credentials,
Hmm.
asking the employees to change the passwords on an immediate. Network passwords, Wi-Fi passwords. So whatever is critical entry points, you should kind of change those. So three things I would say, yeah, should be. And then fourth, of course, if it is big enough, you might need to inform the authorities that yes, something has happened, and then assess what is the damage part.
Hmm.
Looking at if you have a point of sale service and evaluate like are there transactions happening, are there credit cards information leaked out in some kind of a logs, you might go more deeper in that aspect.
Okay. So please
Yeah,
be my friend Mangesh
yes, I am, yes.
too, so that I can call you. And I think this has been a good discussion. Like, I don't have a cafe, but I am a small business
You
owner.
are, yes.
Sitting in my own office, I often worry about this. And to me, it's like at home, you lock your house and you
Correct.
ensure that you're not leaving the key under the mat anymore. Um,
Correct. Yes.
uh, it seems like this is in the digital world exactly what you're saying as well. So,
Correct. Yeah.
tell us in the next couple of minutes, maybe before we kind of end our conversation today, how can Cybird help? What
Correct.
are you
Yeah.
putting together for us?
Yeah, I mean, cyber, whatever we spoke, yeah, I mean, we want to fill that gap with a more comprehensive protection. So what we have built is a network security product, which is a Cybird. It sits on your Wi-Fi router and powered by our cloud intelligence. So again, what is the latest and greatest threats? We know each and every of them every hourly basis, and we want to provide that protection to the end customers or small businesses. So
Okay.
what we have done is like sitting on the router, we can see the traffic, what is going on in the network, are the people going to good sites or bad sites, and we start blocking anything that is malicious, botnet, viruses, ransomware. So that is anything that is outgoing. We also ensure like with our firewall, a much advanced firewall, anything that is coming inside the small business, we check at it, we inspect it, and anything that is malicious again coming from the bad guys, some kind of attack, yes, we block it right away. So two important things that we do. And for Wi-Fi, again, what we do is like per employee username and password. So if even if there are multiple employees in shift, we know who has logged in, who has connected, who is managing connected to the network. So that way, each employee could be given their own policies, protections,
Okay.
and we can have more accountability around it. So some kind of analytics we do. That's all a simple solution for cyber. Again, you don't need any extra hardware. It is one-time hardware and a subscription cost we charge, but it
Oh,
is compared to more enterprise security is brought up to for a small business. That's what Cybird has done. Yeah,
yeah. So it sounds like you're going to give us bouncers we can have in our own place,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. So that would
yeah,
be fun to do. Um,
yeah.
and if I got you correctly, you said it's a subscription cost, right?
Correct,
So
correct.
it's just that every month I'm paying a subscription and you will take care of what enters
All
to my network.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean all the employees' activity, your customers' activity, your guest activity is kind of inspected, ensure that it is in good shape. And
Okay.
if there is something wrong happen, we do block it right away, so that it is a more proactive security. It is not like a reactive security. So we avoid things happening beforehand, and at every week or every month, we also send a weekly report to know that what's really happening, how well we have protected you, so that I mean, as a business owner, you want to focus on business rather than looking at what is security doing behind the scene. But at least once a week, you could spend maybe 2 or 3 minutes to see that yes, it is working behind the scene. It has protected me against all of these things. And as far as my business is running, yes, I'm good to pay the subscription. Yeah,
Perfect. And I know
yeah,
that you mentioned that there is a handout or a handbook that's available. So do
correct.
you want to leave us with those resources
Sure.
as we end our conversation today?
Yeah. Yes, I'm sharing my screen here. Three things we would like to share actually. One is a simple security audit tool. We can try it if you have a minute there. It gives you like where you stand, your small business stands for security today. Again, few questions to answers, nothing, no personal questions asked, no data asked from your side. You just have to check box few things, and you get the score right away on your screen. How good you are, like is it 20%, or if you have done a real good job, you possibly could be close to 90 to 100%. So that is a simple security tool. Priya, if you could share the link to people, that will really help.
Yeah.
And then yes, we also have a simple security, whatever I spoke. There is a just 15 to 20 pages long. This security book could be read in 15 minutes, give you all the required pointers about complexities in cybersecurity that is a small business could face, and simple steps that people could take. And lastly, again, your digital defense, a book which I wrote 2 years back, updated last year. Yeah, it is a free ebook download, again, in a very simple story format way. So
Mhm.
yeah, again, you could all get these resources at cyberd.net. And yeah, Priya has also shared a link where people could click a link, review
Mhm.
their security score, and then check it out.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Mangesh, and for all that you're doing to ensure that
Mm.
we feel safe and secure, specifically in this world of so much of new technology that's coming our way on a daily basis. So
Correct.
thanks for that. I would like to open this for our audience. If anybody has any questions for Mangesh, we could
Yeah,
maybe take a couple of minutes and answer those.
sure. Yeah, Brian and Ray, Harshit.
Okay,
Yeah, I
perfect.
don't have I don't have any questions, guys. I appreciate the info. It was great. Good job.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Andre. Um,
And
All right. Thank you, Mangesh, for this conversation. And I look forward to our next one soon enough
sure.
as well.
Yeah,
So thank you for sharing all the resources and all the information. Very insightful for me.
yeah. Thanks a lot, Priya. Yeah, happy to have this.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thanks,
everyone,
everyone.
for joining us.
Yeah, thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye bye. Bye bye.